So among the modifiable risk factors, you have, non-nutrition related risk factors such as exposure to excessive air pollution on a chronic basis, which as of the 2020 Lancet Commission on Dementia was finally acknowledged as being a risk factor for the development of dementia. We've seen studies run in, for example, Mexico City, where they've seen pathological changes that are associated with Alzheimer's disease in the cadavers of adolescents and children. People who have died in Mexico City, who have been exposed over the course of their lives to, excessive levels of air pollution, like fine particulate matter, PM 2.5, for example, that they see an undue aggregate of, amyloid beta, for example, which is the protein that forms the plaques that, is one of the defining characteristics.
Is that an inflammatory consequence too, or does anybody know?
Yes.
It is?
Yeah. There's an inflammatory consequence. There's a cardiovascular consequence to being exposed to air pollution. With regard to your cardiovascular system, we know that what's good for the heart is good for the brain. And conversely, what's bad for the heart is bad for the brain. And so air pollution, plays a major role. An area that I think is incredibly exciting, also very scary, but ultimately empowering is, looking at certain environmental pollutants, like certain industrial solvents. For example, there's a compound that there's another fantastic neurologist who has become a friend and colleague, and I think his work is incredibly important. His name is Ray Dorsey, Dr. Ray Dorsey. He's a University of Rochester neurologist who has done a lot of work exposing the link between exposure to certain chemical solvents that are still widely being used in the United States, like trichloroethylene and perchloroethylene, and the etiology of Parkinson's disease and related conditions like Lewy body dementia, which is the condition that my mom suffered from.